It's time for Fantasy Football Semi-Pros. Let's do it.
Welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Football Semi-Pros. I'm Brandon. With me is Ryan. Ryan, how's your 4-day weekend looking?
Great. I think you need a little more excitement in your voice because you have a 5-day weekend coming up. We got
It actually started today.
college football conference championships this week. And it looks to be like a good week for fantasy football as well with these matchups.
You know, I almost messaged you earlier today.
Yeah?
UC released more tickets for the championship game.
Uh-oh.
But there were very few when I looked.
And they were probably like $200?
No, they were only like $35.
What?
Yeah, I almost considered it.
Yeah, I would have Venmo'd you by $40 to pay for the shipping and handling fees or the handling and processing fees, whatever it is. Because basically all tickets nowadays are all digital.
Yeah, and the nice thing, like, we only live about 30 minutes from UC. We're not UC fans, but
no, but
we're
it's
good,
something to get
fans of good
excited about.
football.
It's something to get excited about. Hey, you got an AAC, American Athletic Conference team that might be in the
playoffs.
Yeah, I mean that's good, but this is fantasy football. I could talk about college football all day, so don't get me started. I love it.
Well, with that,
real
quick,
I love it.
Just so you know, we're gonna skip the Dynasty Saturday episode this month.
I need to spend more time with my wife. She's getting a little upset.
That's one reason. Another reason, it's almost the end of the season.
Yeah,
not a whole lot's changed.
No, Kenny Pickett might be your best quarterback though.
And after the regular season, or after the season's over, we're gonna start breaking down rookies. We're actually gonna talk about
all day long. I will be watching film.
Yep.
I have a lot of days off coming up. I got every Monday off in the month of December and a couple of Fridays. So heck yeah, baby.
Yep. So we're gonna get something together. That's gonna be most of our off season episodes, at least until the NFL draft.
We break down positions and then individual players.
So just so you guys know the plan.
Yes.
We will go through week 18. Even though most NFL or most fantasy football leagues do not play week 18.
You never know.
There are still some out there that do, so we will go through week 18.
I mean, that's the last week, but yeah, I get it. People are benched and all that other stuff, so yeah, I get it.
And then after that, I think we'll do one episode next week, and we're going to kind of go over some award-type things, like fantasy football MVP, comeback player of the year, those kind of things.
Not
best running back, best quarterback.
Jonathan Taylor.
Just kind of trying to make a little bit of a fun episode for it.
Cool.
And then after that, that's when we might take a week or two off and then start going over the potential rookies.
Yeah, I mean, we got Christmas and all that stuff coming up. Man, I tell you what, I'm not much of a people person, so being around a lot of people is exhausting almost. Does that make sense? My wife calls me an extrovert because I do well
you
around.
You are an extrovert.
An introverted extrovert.
No, you're an extroverted introvert.
I don't know what that means. I do well around people, but it's just so mentally exhausting. I just need to sit in this cave and work out and listen to my rock music and emo music and all that other stuff and
play video games.
Yeah. I just bought Diablo 2 remastered for like $40. It was like the Primeval edition or something. It's pretty cool. So I can't wait to play that. And Minecraft just released their Caves and Cliffs update too. Yeah. Update 2.0. So I'm excited for that. Playing
Warzone's
Vanguard.
about to drop a new map.
Halo is available now too.
I think so.
Man, we're nerds. Okay, here we go. Let's get started with this because I know we started a little bit earlier and I'm hyped up, man. I've had 2 monsters today because my wife's not here and she can't yell at me. I want to stay up all night playing Vanguard, working on that. What is it? Atomic.
Yeah, to get Atomic.
So you have to basically max out and get all the camos for every single weapon in the game. I'm working on that right now. Not doing too good.
So all right. Well, to our ESPN Pick'em results.
Yeah.
This week, Ryan was 10-5, tied with his wife for the lead, and I think one other person.
Moochie, I think.
Bringing his overall record to 116-63.
Yeah.
I went 7-8.
You're reaching, man. You're reaching, so you.
I'm trying to make up ground.
I mean, you have to. I mean, the only way you can is if you pick a bunch of upsets or something, and that's it.
Yep, I am definitely trying to make up ground, and it's not working for me.
No.
So, on to the DFS. So,
Buddy, stop.
of the two last week, Thursday was a better day for both of us.
Yeah.
Even in a loss for you, you scored more than you did on
But
Sunday.
here's the thing, though. In the Thursday pick'em, the Thanksgiving Day pick'ems, I forgot I had CeeDee Lamb in my lineup, and I still scored 99 points.
Yeah.
I mean, even if I would have put Lamb in there, I know it's only 20, but that's still
You mean
119. Or sorry, yeah, Cedric Wilson.
Yeah. But I won the Thursday slate 129.3 to 99.78. But Ryan comes back and wins the Sunday slate 98.08 to
7 and 6, baby, against Tim, not against everybody else. We're like 0 and 13 or something, 0 and 12
Yeah.
or whatever.
Congrats to MCats for winning the Thursday slate and Timex for winning the Sunday slate.
Yeah, invite your friends, guys. Like, we need more people in there because the same people keep winning, and it's not me or Brandon.
All right, so we're gonna skip the Thursday night game since that's about to start. And actually, I need to pick up or pull up the NFL pick.
But I will say, Kamara's out. If you haven't heard and you're watching us live, Kamara is out tonight, which really stinks for me because I need to go 4-0.
Finally, something I called about 3-4 weeks ago. Taysom Hill is finally starting.
Finally, maybe I should go pick him up. I don't know if I can. Oh well, who cares?
All right, and so we'll go ahead and get to our first game of the, or not our first game, but
Sunday.
Sunday's games.
Well, should we go over the buys? Because there's a lot. There's a lot of buys. I mean, the Carolina Panthers, Cleveland Browns, Green Bay Packers, and Tennessee Titans. There's a good handful of players there that you're not going to have, like Rodgers and Devonte Adams.
Yeah. So real quick with this team, Chris McCaffrey placed on the IR.
Yeah.
Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers decided that he is not going to get surgery for the time being on his fractured toe.
It's just a toe. Those things hurt, though.
Yeah. I've sophomore year.
I've broken some toes.
Sophomore year of high school, I was a catcher, and I was catching on a broken toe.
Man, that stinks.
But other than that, there's not a lot of injury news. I will say, so A.J. Brown was placed on the IR before last week's game. It's not 3 weeks. It is 3 games.
Yeah.
So he has to miss a total of 3 games.
But for tonight's game, just for the pickup, I'm taking the Saints. Or I'm taking the Cowboys. Sorry, I'm taking the Cowboys.
Cowboys are now 6-point favorites after the Cowboys are missing like 2 tackles. Or not, the Saints are missing 2 tackles.
Kamara. Yeah. I mean, if the defense plays really, really well, they might have a chance, but I don't know.
All right. So we'll go ahead and jump into.
What are you taking?
I took the Cowboys. We talked about this on Monday.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Yep, you're good. We'll jump into the Bengals-Chargers game. So the Bengals actually open up as 3-point home favorites. The Chargers, though, you never know what team's going to show up with these guys.
It's just like the Cowboys.
I think they're a little more streaky, like not streaky, volatile than the Cowboys.
Hot and cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, after the bye week, the Bengals have come out strong these last 2 weeks. Let's just call it what it is, right? I think they're out with a purpose. I think they take the field, especially the defense, because the ownership really went out and got defensive veterans, and I think they're really trying to prove that.
Well, speaking of the defense, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, they have a slight downgrade this week.
Really?
Adukwe, or I can't remember how to say that cornerback's name.
Adukwe.
He's going to be covering Mike Williams, and Mike Williams has been very bad as of late.
Yeah.
Adukwe hasn't been phenomenal, but he's been enough to kind of give it a down week for each receiver.
Yeah, he's been playing solid.
Then Mike Hilton, the slot cornerback for the Bengals, he's going to be covering Keenan Allen. No, I don't expect Keenan Allen to have a bad day, but
no, I don't know. It could go either way because we've seen the Bengals defense come out and just lay some goose eggs.
And we've seen the same thing from the Chargers offense.
Specifically from when they played the Packers, the Browns, and the Jets. I mean, this defense couldn't stop anybody. But
which brings me to Austin Eckler next. Like, we've seen the Bengals both stop pass catching running back and
or is he gonna be a Ty Johnson this week? Who knows?
Yeah.
I think I would be most confident playing Austin Eckler this week from the Chargers.
Yeah.
Hey,
you're not benching Allen, Eckler, or Herbert.
No, absolutely not. But if you have T. Higgins, I would temper expectations. I don't think that's gonna happen again. I don't.
So the Bengals started out slow. then they ramped up their offense.
Mm-hmm.
And when they ramped it up, the mistakes started happening. Which, that's going to happen. That's fine.
The mistakes.
Yeah, Joey Burrow started throwing more
Oh,
interceptions.
yeah. Well, I think we've gotten a good run game now, so.
Yeah, now they're going back to that run game. And
you can hear us? Okay, cool.
And Joe Mixon, he could be a smash play this week.
Oh, yeah, I would put him in there for sure.
He's had 2 great games in a row, and the Chargers are a bad run defense.
You know, we're a little biased here. Obviously, Houday Nation is where we live and where we reside. I now live in Cincinnati. Barber's 30 minutes west still. But, hey, at the end of the day, I'm hoping my prediction comes true that the Bengals win the AFC North and make the playoffs. So, I grew up as a Cincinnati Reds fan, a Cincinnati Bengals fan, and a Purdue Boilermaker fan. All right, we have all this talent sometimes, not like true talent, not like Duke or whatever, or like
Purdue might have it.
Yeah, Purdue might have it this year, but we're always disappointed year after year after year. So I'm gonna pick the Bengals in this one, but we know.
I'm going with the Bengals as well. This team's playing with a purpose. They've got that swagger right now.
I'm at that point where I'm so excited about Purdue basketball and the Bengals that I just need to really temper my expectations and bring myself back down to earth and remember who my teams are. Something.
All right. Well, next game we have, I think I did say, I'm taking the Bengals.
Yes, you did.
We had the Bucks. They are 11-point road favorites at the Falcons. And
yeah, dude. This Falcons team is struggling.
Honestly, you're probably starting Pitts because you don't have anybody better.
Nope.
But I think the only other person you're considering is Cordero Patterson for the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm not playing Matt Ryan. And you have a note here that says the Falcons give up a lot of points to receivers. The sixth
most fantasy points to wide receivers this season.
Yeah, and they're bad. So you can play Godwin.
Evans and Godwin.
Yeah, they're probably gonna have. You're starting Gronkowski. I would say play Leonard Fournette, play Tom Brady. It's going to be a field day this week. The only thing that you should worry about is that they might pull him at the end of the third quarter. Because I foresee this being a huge blowout. This isn't one of the upsets that I think I can see happening. But
Did you know Tom Brady is 9-0 against the Falcons?
Wow.
Including a 28-3 comeback in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Keep seeing this meme that Matt Ryan is the Matthew Stafford of the Falcons as he was for the Lions.
Yeah, he's
but
actually had some success.
But with an embarrassing Super Bowl loss, and that's all the difference was. He's better than what the team around him allows him to be.
Now, we have had some news come out about Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier this week, came out he's still expected to miss 2 games due to his ankle injury. And then today, news came out that he is now suspended 3 games for misrepresenting his vax status.
I wonder who the other 2 were. They must not be relevant players.
They weren't fantasy relevant. I did see the names.
Oh, wow.
But this was something that came from both the NFLPA and the NFL.
Hey,
so for once, they're agreeing upon something.
Hey, you do the crime, pay the time. As much as I disagree with it, it's fine. We're not going to get political. But, hey, well, now you know for your fantasy football team rosters, right? Now you know that he's going to be out for 3 more games, which really stinks, especially if you drafted him higher than somebody else may have.
All right, so I am taking the Bucks in this game, and I don't even think it's close.
Yeah, I feel like the Buccaneers cover that spread pretty easily.
All right, so our next game, we have the Cardinals, who are 7.5-point favorites at the Bears. Justin Fields is going to be the starter for this game. They are benching Andy Dalton again. But as for the Cards,
you mean Andy Fulton, like as in faults? He has a lot of faults in his game. I'm so disappointed in you. Where is it? Okay. Look, Andy Dalton on Thanksgiving Day did everything he could to lose that game. The lines are that bad. Drop pick in the end zone. Huh?
Were you looking for the rim shot?
Yeah. I mean, he threw a pick in the end zone, but the Detroit Lions player dropped it. So then he threw it to him the next drive. And he finally caught it.
Well, Chase Edmonds, Cliff Kingsbury came out. He said he anticipates Edmonds returning week 14.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, they both limited both days this week, and there is high optimism that they're going to play this week.
I really hope so because I'm without Kamara again for the 4th week in a row, and this would be my 5th week in a row without Murray because the 3 he sat out injured in the bye. Oh man, and I'm trying to make a playoff runs in a couple leagues, and I need both of them, and one of them's out. And if Murray's out this week, I'm done. You all right over there?
Yeah, it just kind of knows. Like that's what
Oh.
sitting right.
Oh, okay.
Cole Kmet, he didn't practice yesterday, but he was back on the field today. So that's some good news. I actually have to start him as a desperation tight end because I lost Waller and couldn't get Foster Moreau.
Sorry, man.
But Allen Robinson, he didn't practice again either day this week. I wonder if he's just kind of trying to buy his time out until he can leave Chicago.
Probably. Yeah, I don't blame him. Change of scenery does a wide receiver good.
All right. And then so with this, Arizona, their top receiver, he lines up to the left side 79% of the time. In this case, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, Hopkins or Kirk.
That's Chicago's strength. So
their best corners on the right side of the field.
Especially coming out of an injury, you can see a down week for DeAndre Hopkins again this week.
I don't know if I'm comfortable playing him even if he does play.
But that could be good news for Green and Kirk.
You kind of have to, right?
Not necessarily. You survived this long without him.
Or you haven't.
Fair. As for Chicago, I think the only person I'm really considering starting, unless it's like a deep league, is David Montgomery. I don't think Darnell Mooney is a good play this week.
Really?
I don't think so. Arizona's actually been decent.
I kind of hope so because I have the Cardinals defense, but yeah. I can see that.
So, who are you taking in this game?
I've picked the Cardinals 11 times, and we're going to make it 12 this time. And I hope I'm right for the 10th time.
I am going with the Cardinals as well.
This is a tough game to pick right here.
All right. So, our next game, we have the Vikings, who are 7-point favorites at the Lions.
Oh.
Thing is, both star running backs,
Cook and Swift,
they're likely out for this game.
Could be interesting.
Dalvin Cook came out. Apparently, I mean, we talked about him at length Monday.
Yeah, that's dislocated shoulder.
That dislocated shoulder, which I think was actually torn to a torn labrum.
Yeah, that stinks, man. That sucks.
I think they're saying he's probably out at least 2 weeks, but he could be back after that.
Okay.
Deandre Swift, though, it came out that they originally said it was a shoulder sprain. Apparently, it's an AC joint sprain, which makes it very hard to lift up your arm.
Yeah, I've had one of those.
He is a pass-catching back, so that really limits him. And a lot of people come back too soon on this. He doesn't shy away from contact.
Hey, Jers, I'm going to say Ayuk.
Yeah,
Ayuk has a higher ceiling and a higher floor, especially with Deebo Samuel out.
But, yeah, so Jamal Williams, solid play here, I think.
Yes. But this could be the game, man.
The Lions win.
The Lions could win this. I doubt it, and I'm not gonna pick them. But I kind of want to. I really want to, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. So as for the Vikings, you're starting the normal crew and Alexander Madison,
Thielen, Justin Jefferson. You could start Madison.
Maybe I decided to start
Cousins.
Decided to start Madison over Ayuk in the league.
Really?
Yep.
It's interesting.
All right, and so I'm going to take the Vikings as well.
Yep. I think we gotta.
Our next game, we have the Giants at the Dolphins. The Dolphins are 4-point home favorites.
The coin has the Chiefs in this game.
Yeah, I forgot to change it on here. No, it has the Dolphins.
I thought I picked the Giants for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, well, who cares? Yeah, man. I mean, the Giants might not have Danny Dimes.
Yeah, it's going to come down to a game time decision, but he's been practicing, and I think there's very high optimism that he's going to play this week. Sterling Shepard, Kadarius Toney, they didn't practice yesterday. I'm trying to see if there was any update on them for today.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But I'm really hoping Toney plays because I don't really have anybody else in our dynasty league for our 2 flex spots. I don't know. Really, really concerned about that. But
So Kadarius Toney, he was a non-participant today, but Sterling Shepard did practice in a limited fashion, and I think Shepard could be startable if
Tony's out.
well either way if he plays. Now if Mike Glennon's the quarterback, I don't think I'm starting anybody except for possibly Saquon. But
Yeah.
if Jones is there, I'm willing to start.
Well, even when Glennon was playing, Tony did okay.
Fair, yeah. As for the Dolphins side of this, though,
Lindsey's hurt.
we talked about Philip Lindsay being potentially a sneaky play here. He was limited yesterday, didn't practice today with an ankle injury. Will Fuller, he will not resume practicing this week, but Devontae Parker will.
Okay, Devonte Parker, stay on the IR because you're gonna screw up my roster if I have to drop you or somebody else.
Yeah, and I like Waddle getting all the work.
Yeah, I do too. For your sake, even though you're like 9th in our league.
I have Waddle in like 3 different leagues.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 4. I don't know.
Adult Pepsi.
All right, and so
nobody watches this on YouTube or a podcast. They listen to us. We could try to get sponsored.
All right, so who are you taking for this game?
I picked the Dolphins the last 3 weeks in a row, and they burned me last week. But I'm going to take them again anyway.
I am taking the Dolphins as well.
This Giants team is sneaky, though. When
the surprising thing, Monday night, they showed a graphic, and the Giants are like the first team out of the playoffs in the NFC.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the NFC. It's weak. How are the Seahawks not out? They're 3-9 now? 3-8? Yeah. Well, it's 12.
But I am taking the Dolphins as well. Our next game, we have the Eagles at the Jets. The Eagles are 7-point favorites. Howard, Scott, and Smith, they didn't practice yesterday. But good news, Devonta Smith returned to practice today.
Okay.
Howard was a knee issue. Scott and Smith were illness issues, non-COVID related. Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts, they were both limited.
With ankle injuries.
Yeah. Hurts, he's saying he's going to play. If he plays, you're starting him.
Yeah.
As for the Jets, the only really injury note here is Corey Davis. Hasn't practiced these 2 weeks. Now,
that's good for Elijah Moore.
It can be, but we'll kind of get to that a little bit more. Now, the Jets, over the last 8 weeks, they've allowed the 4th most fantasy points to wide receivers, as well as the 6th most to the perimeter. So hopefully, Jalen Hurts is looking Devonta Smith's way.
All night long.
Devonta Smith kind of showed his frustration after the last game. Hopefully this is the get-right game for him.
Hopefully, yeah. Definitely.
As for Philadelphia, they've allowed the 3rd fewest fantasy points to receivers this season.
So that could be bad for Waddle.
Hey, not Waddle.
Sorry.
Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore, yeah.
Yeah, if you have a chance, I'm probably benching Elijah Moore. And I'm probably not starting a Jet.
Unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah.
Tevin Coleman, Ty Johnson, maybe. Well,
even then, they had the 3rd running back, Walters.
A. Walters, Alexander Walters, I think his name was.
All right. Well, for this game, I'm going to say fly, Eagle, fly.
Okay, Devin. I'm taking the Eagles as well.
That's actually their motto.
Oh, that's what Devin always says.
I know.
But I'm going to take the Eagles as well. I think this is a bounce-back, get-right game for him after that embarrassing loss last week to the Giants. This offense has got to play better. Kind of like the Bama offense needs to play better, too. So,
all right, our next game, the Colts are 10-point road favorites to the Texans. And this could be an interesting game. Last time these two played,
Jonathan Taylor to go crazy.
You could get your wish. Last
75
time these two played,
points.
The Colts barely threw the ball.
Yeah.
Interesting, though, Doyle, he didn't practice yesterday with the knee and foot issue.
Oh, but Doyle rules.
He does.
Love that guy for some reason. I don't know why. No.
David Johnson, he had an illness and a thigh issue, didn't practice yesterday. And Cooks had an illness issue, didn't practice yesterday. Apparently, there's some kind of illness going around Houston right now.
Gosh dang it, Houston. Get right.
Yep. So, I will say, though, if the Colts do throw, the Texans are allowing the 3rd most fantasy points to the perimeter receivers this season, as well as the 5th most overall the past 8 weeks. This could be really good news for Pittman and Hilton.
Yeah, and I already dropped Hilton in our keeper league.
A.K.A. T.Y. Houston.
T.Y. Houston.
Because he always seems to go off against them.
Yeah, he was doing pretty well before he got hurt last week, or last time they played.
Indianapolis, though, they're struggling against boundary receivers. Like, their DBs have not been great.
Yeah, Cook's line's up on the outside, even though he's really small.
So hopefully this illness isn't too much of a hindrance for him, but that could be good news for Cook.
Yeah, for me, because I have him in Cooks, because I have him in both leagues. Both leagues. I need him.
Well, you have 3 different leagues, not 2.
Well, yeah, I'm in 3 leagues, but I need him in the 2 I care about. Interestingly enough, the one league I pay into, I just don't care about.
You don't care about it yet.
Yet. I'm rebuilding.
No, I took over like a team like you did, except mine was worse when I took them over.
My team finished like 8th last year.
Well,
Man, it was awful.
You made a series of bad trades, but
not last year. I don't know.
But I'm actually really starting to get really invested in that team because, I mean, I owned half the draft class this season.
I own half the draft class for next. I have more first-round draft picks for 2022 than you did in 2021.
But you don't have your first overall.
Doesn't matter. I don't want to have the first overall. Look what I did with Kamara, and he's been subpar all year long.
All right, so who are you taking for that game?
I forgot who we were talking about. I'm taking the Colts.
I am going with the Colts as well. So our next game, we had the Washington football team at the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are 2.5-point home favorites.
This is really hard for me, man.
J.D. McKissick hasn't practiced yet this week.
Come on, Jared Patterson. Come on, Patterson. Let's go.
Honestly, though, Patterson hasn't been much of a pass catcher in the NFL. Hopefully, this just opens up more work for Gibson.
He wasn't much of a pass catcher in college in Buffalo. Because he just ran around, through, and over the entire defense, breaking 16 tackles a play for 90-yard runs for touchdowns.
Ricky Seals-Jones, he was limited both days. Curtis Samuel limited. Logan Thomas limited. Good news, they were saying Logan Thomas was going to be on snap count last week.
But he wasn't.
He wasn't.
Played the entire game.
I think Logan Thomas he's a guy that you want to put out there.
Yeah.
At tight end.
Gibson was limited.
I think it's just kind of, that's pain injury management.
Who's Jackson?
Deshaun Jackson.
Oh.
He was limited, and I think he didn't practice today with a calf issue. He said it was spasming, but he doesn't anticipate it being an issue.
Drink water.
And then Darren Waller hasn't practiced yet this week.
Mm-hmm.
Foster Moreau, when Waller sat earlier this year, Foster Moreau was a big play.
I think I got a notification earlier today that Josh Jacobs is
Josh Jacobs, he did get added to the injury report. He was limited today with an ankle issue.
This was a really hard game for me to pick. And it's kind of like, okay, which Raiders team is going to show up? Are they going to show up? Is it going to be the Raiders team that played the Bengals a couple weeks ago? Or is it going to be the Raiders team that played last year?
Well, before you do that, did you know?
I like that. Bengals are the best team in the AFC, and it's not close. I like that wheelchair chaos. I do. I really like that. They couldn't beat the Browns, though, man, or the Jets. That's the only thing that worries me. And as a Bengals fan, as a lifelong Bengals fan, 32 years without a playoff victory, I want to say yes, hooday. But at the same time, I want to say yes, hooday.
Now, back to this game. Did you know in the last, I think, 4 games, Taylor Heineke is the 9th best fantasy quarterback?
Which is weird. I was going to mention this. I think it's because who was told 4 weeks ago that they're not going to play this season?
They didn't say he wasn't.
Ryan Fitzmagic said basically it was known that Fitzmagic was not going to come back this year, and I think that really took some stress off of Taylor Heineke, and he knew this is my job. I can't really lose it unless I die or break my arm.
I'm sure there's other ways you can lose it, but
yeah, you could do some really dumb stuff off the field. But anyway, yeah, that's crazy. 9th best quarterback for 4 weeks. Yeah, I see it, man. I traded him away too in our dynasty league, in our Superflex league. But yeah, hey, wheelchair chaos. I do agree that right now the Bengals are arguably the best team in the AFC. That one bad loss to the Browns and I guess another bad loss to the Jets. But other than that, yeah, they're pretty solid. Injuries kind of really screwed the pooch for the Titans, but
All right, well,
other
who's
than
your
that-
pick for the Washington-Las Vegas game?
I initially went with the Raiders, but I'm going to change it. I'm going to go Washington football team, and I will change that on the app tonight.
I am going with the football team as well.
Gosh, why? Oh, well, whatever.
You know what? I'm just trying to go for good weeks now and not necessarily trying to make up ground.
Eventually, you'll make up ground.
Not this way. We picked, I think, every game the same.
That's true. That's true.
All right, so our next game we have Jacksonville at the Rams. The Rams are 13-point home favorites.
Uh-huh.
James Robinson, limited yesterday, did not practice today with the heel and knee issue, so keep an eye on the practice reports there.
If he doesn't play, I'm down to one running back. I'm going to go pick somebody up just in case.
Odell Beckham Jr. was limited yesterday, but he did not practice today.
Mm-hmm.
And then Henderson did not practice yesterday. I haven't seen the report for him today. Let's see if I can find something on that.
Yeah, I kind of hope Henderson doesn't play just because I'm facing him in a league where I really
Michel
need
could be a
wins.
solid play if he did
Yeah,
not play.
I would say either way. I'd play Sonny Michel this week in an RB2 format or even in a flex RB3.
Yeah, they haven't updated his status, Henderson's status for today. But, I mean, I think here, all three wide receivers, if Beckham plays, are playable pieces. If he doesn't, I mean, you're definitely playing Jefferson. And Michelle, if Henderson doesn't play. So, other than that, I'm not sure I'm starting any Rams player unless Robinson plays. We'll get to that after we finish this game.
Yeah, after this game, yeah, man, the Rams are on a skid right now, and there's talks about Matthew Stafford being injured, right? Or not really injured, but hurt and ailing and going through some struggles right now. This is the perfect game for the Rams to get back to where they were before this.
Game.
Yeah, this losing streak started. I mean, I think they're 0-3 the last 3 weeks.
I'm not sure.
At least 0-2. But yeah, you're playing all your wide receivers. I even think if you have Higbee, this is a good game to play Higbee. Tyler Higbee in the tight end slot. He could be a potential really high, mid to high tight end one this week. But I'm taking the Rams, man.
I'm taking the Rams as well.
Yeah, Kamara's been. I took Kamara 1.1 in our redraft league this year. Squid's Giant Chode. I love that, man. I love that name so much. I wish I was that creative. I'm just not. But yeah, man, I took Kamara 1.1 and it really stunk. It sucks, man. It's really ruining my season not having him. And even before he left, I mean, he was solid for 20 points a game. But other than that, that's a full PPR league. But other than that, man, yeah.
Yeah, as for your question, this
Kirk.
one's a tough one, but I would go Kirk with, even though Cooper's back, he's still limited. I think that takes away quite a few targets from Gallup still.
Yeah.
And this could be one that they don't have to throw a whole lot.
Right. Here's the thing. I would say Kirk, and
I like the upside of Kirk more than Gallup.
Kirk has been the only consistent in Arizona since Murray's left. So even if Murray doesn't play this week again, I still think Kirk's floor is a lot higher than Gallup's floor. And his ceiling's way higher than Gallup's ceiling. I hope that answers your question. So, wait, who are you taking? I said Rams.
I said the Rams as well.
Oh. Do you want me to get started on the next one?
So our next game, we had the Ravens, who are
I can do
4.5.
Type that.
It's all good. We have the Ravens, who are 4.5 4.5 road favorites against the Steelers. Chase Claypool, he's limited with the toe injury. Freiermuth is going through concussion protocol, but he practiced in full yesterday.
Interesting.
And Roethlisberger continuing the way he's been. Did not practice.
That's just a maintenance sit. He's been in the system for 2 decades almost, so he doesn't need to practice. We're talking about practice. We're not even talking about a game. Practice.
All right, AI. This game. This one could
Speaking
be
of Allen Iverson, man, he's a heck of a stud QB in his high school days.
He was just an all around athlete.
Yeah, dude, that kid could play anything.
This game, it's kind of interesting. I don't know what to expect from Najee Harris in this game. The Ravens are a good run defense.
I'm gonna say I got Najee. I paid an expensive price for him, but I think I got a better deal selling him. And the only reason why I sold him is because So many question marks. The talent's there for him. He just needs to be on a better team, I think, for him to really shine and really grow as a fantasy player for managers. But, dude, this Ravens defense is good. It's pretty solid. I don't think I can pick the Steelers with these ailments on their entire offense. You know what I mean?
So, how are you feeling about Lamar this week in this game?
I'm not playing Lamar at all. He just hasn't had it this year. He's had a few
The thing
good
is,
games.
That's been just about every quarterback, though.
Yeah, it's hard to pick, but the only upside to Lamar Jackson is the rushing yards. And last week, his 68 rushing yards were literally the difference. I lost by 1 point, and that was Lamar Jackson's worst game of the season.
Based on that alone, I wouldn't bench him. And the Steelers' defense isn't all that threatening. They're missing Hayden.
No.
They're missing Watt.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can play Lamar Jackson, but he's a matchup guy. You have to really look at the matchups and who he's playing this year. Unlike a couple other guys like maybe Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray when he's healthy, Josh Allen, Tom Brady for sure. He's not a set him and forget him kind of guy this year.
I think he still is.
You think so?
Yeah.
From
here, though, you're starting Hollywood, you're starting Andrews, you're starting Bateman.
I think Bateman hopefully has a good game this
Steelers,
week.
you're starting Claypool and Najee. That's probably about it. Maybe Freiermuth too, I think.
If Freiermuth plays, yeah, especially with Ebron out. Yeah, you're definitely playing Freiermuth.
So, for this game, I'm taking the Ravens.
I took the Ravens too, man. I just can't pick this Steelers team. I ever since that loss or that tie with the Lions, that's more embarrassing than losing to the Lions.
The more and more I watch, the more I come to the conclusion there is no way Roethlisberger is the quarterback for this team next year. And
it's either time to draft or get Haskins ready.
I think they're going to go out and get a veteran quarterback, which could be better for Najee next year.
Just not as veteran as Ben Roethlisberger?
No.
So not Fitzpatrick?
I mean, the two big names coming out of there is Wilson and Rodgers.
Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, he can go to the Steelers. He's not that great. Every time they let Russ cook, they always lose.
All right, so our next game, we had the 49ers, who are 3-point road favorites at the Seahawks. Not a lot of injury news here. Deebo Samuel didn't practice yesterday. I don't think he's practiced today with the groin issue.
And that's why I say wheelchair chaos. Jers. That's why I say Ayuk, man, because he's really stepped up whenever Deebo's out. Ayuk steps up and he puts up pretty good games.
And with Deebo's new role of
running back,
hybrid running back, Ayuk's had a solid 4 as of late.
Yeah, he's been pretty good, man.
Though, this opens up more for Kittle.
Hey, Squid's Giant Chode, you are welcome, man. You are welcome. We're here to help, and I hope it helps.
As for the Seahawks, though, DK Metcalf's kind of been an afterthought lately.
Yeah, I just don't know if Russell Wilson came back from that finger issue too soon, and if that's still ailing him. He didn't let it heal all the way.
Well, I mean, if you watch any of the games, he's still selling his throws. He's underthrowing stuff. He just does not seem right.
Yeah, I think that finger's still bothering him, and so he's trying to overcompensate, and that messes up your throwing motion. And as good as Russell Wilson is, he's not an Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes where you can just throw the ball from any angle.
Now, I will say, you're probably still starting Metcalf because if you have him benched and he has one of those upside games,
you're going to kick yourself in the gonads.
And same thing with Lockett, but other than that, I don't think I'm starting a Seahawk.
I would just temper expectations.
So, who are you taking for this game?
I'm surprised the 49ers are only a 3-point favorite. They've been playing really, really well as of late.
A surprising 6-5.
Yeah, I mean, sneaky. I think they started 1-3 or 2-5.
They started off pretty poor.
2-4, I think. 2-5 maybe. Yeah, they're on a roll right now, and they beat the Vikings last week. Can't remember who it was before that. I mean, ever since that loss to the Colts, they've really bounced back.
So you're taking the 49ers?
Yeah, I'm taking the 49ers for sure. And I think we're going to see Elijah Mitchell go crazy and Jimmy Garoppolo hook up with Brandon Ayuk and Kittle and do the thing. Do the damn thing.
All right, so our next game, we have the Broncos and the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 9.5-point home favorites. And the interesting thing is, Mahomes has never lost to the Broncos.
Here's the thing. The Broncos. The Broncos. The Broncos. The Broncos. I pick them, they lose. I pick against them, they win. I am sick of the Broncos. I'm taking the Chiefs. Just
now, injury news here. Melvin Gordon, he hasn't practiced yet this week with a hip and shoulder issue.
well, that's good news for people who have Devonte Williams on the roster.
Oh, trust me, I've been waiting for this day. Like, I never root for injuries, but I'm super excited to see what Javonte can do.
Yeah,
with the bold himself.
I mean, you're gonna double his points easily, most likely, but because this Chiefs defense is not good. I don't care what anybody says. This defense isn't good. The Chiefs' offensive line isn't very good.
You know, everybody's been talking about panicking on Mahomes.
No,
you know he's still the #1 overall fantasy quarterback.
Well, yeah, because he had that like 60-point game a couple weeks ago, where he had 5 touchdowns. Okay.
I mean, other than that, I'm probably avoiding Sutton because he just has not looked good since Judy's come back.
I mean, Tim Patrick's looked great though.
Yeah. I'm taking the Chiefs though as well.
Watch the Broncos go out there and win.
And then our last game of the week, the Monday night game, we had the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are currently 2.5-point favorites, and there's really not much news in injury-wise, but New England, they've had a very good defense this year, and they've allowed the 4th fewest fantasy points to wide receivers.
As well as the 3rd fewest to the slot receivers.
So this defense, both defenses are tough to throw against. Now the Bills are suffering a little bit without Tre'Davious White. And
they just lost somebody too.
Tre'Davious White.
That was
ACL injury.
Corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But J.C. Jackson should likely be shadowing Diggs. Now, you're not benching Diggs, but temper expectations, and I'm probably not starting another Bills receiver.
I don't know, man. This Patriots defense looks really good, and this team is surprisingly sneakily in the hunt.
Yeah.
In the hunt right there, man. They're right there. I think they make the playoffs, which would be cool to see Mac 10, as a rookie get to the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, that would be cool. It'd be the next dynasty, and then in 10 years we'll be pissed off at the Patriots for always winning and always being in the playoffs and always in the Super Bowl.
Well, that being said, I think I want to go with the Bills this game. I think it's going to be a good game, but I think the Bills kind of turn it on and they get the win here.
This is the only game we are not picking together, and I am taking the Patriots.
I was kind of expecting that.
I'm taking the Patriots. I've gotten every Patriots game correct. I've called it when they lose. I've called it when they win. So I'm just going to keep picking them to win.
All right. Well, that's all we've got
That's for my cousin Will White up in Rhode Island, but he's from Boston, or he's from Massachusetts somewhere. I don't know. But he's a big Pats fan. So if I keep picking them, they'll just keep winning.
Well, that's all we have for our Week 13 preview. Once again, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We appreciate the interactions.
Yeah. Keep messaging us, man. It's awesome. We love it. It's more fun when there's people talking to us and everything, and we can answer questions.
As we say though every week, please like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Share us, man.
Like and subscribe on YouTube.
And like, subscribe, and share. Anything you can do to help us out, man, we'd be so appreciative. And if we can get to that point where we have enough of a fan base, we can start doing little giveaways and little contests and stuff, and that'd be cool.
Yep.
That'd be awesome. That's what the people want. They want prizes. They want competition.
Yep, definitely. We can look into some giveaways. Like Ryan said, he's a big football card collector. That's something that we can look into giving away.
I have a 2 of 3. There's only 3 of them. Kyle Murray autograph. I'll put that up. I don't care.
All right. Well, once again, like I said, we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you guys on Monday.
Deuces. So this is just in. One-time bowl game. It's college football.